Hello, welcome to the Geeks Garage again. I'm doing the second part of our switch repair with the mangled port. Well, it's not a mangled port, it's a mangled board where the port should be. Don't have a bin. Right. So we had our Nintendo Switch, which had literally nothing to work on the USB-C port. So what we had to do, we ran jumper wires, 24 of them, from the port itself onto the corresponding components on the actual board. On the last video in part 1, it was late at night, Saturday night. I'd been in there for 14 hours working, and then I decided to do a video at the end of the day, and we basically got it to a point where we'd put the jumper wires on, we'd put the port back in place, and we put the multimeter in it to test it, and we had it charging both ways, fast charging at just over 1 amp, and then we called it a day. Now I've been in here again today, Sunday, done a few repairs, a few people have come and collected the stuff, and I'm getting ready to call it a day. And then thought, right, okay, we best get this switch back in itself. I thought, I'm waiting on a dock. It's not a normal dock, it's one that allows me to put the switch onto the computer screen so I can show you guys through the cameras. But it's not arrived yet. It's 5 o'clock, so whether it comes today or not, I don't know. It's meant to be coming today according to Amazon, but hey ho. But what we'll do is we'll get this switch back in its house, the board back in the house, and we'll get it connected, we'll get the screen on, and we'll see if we have video on the screen. Like I said, I worked out where the wires should go. Not 100% certain. I'm 90% certain, but I'm not 100% certain that it's perfectly right, because I haven't tested it with the I've got a broken board, and I've tried to work out where all the components go relating to the pins on the port. Worked it out and then decided, right, that's the way they go on this one. Took me a while to work out, but not as long as it took me to do these jumper wires. So let's get it looked at, let's get it back in its housing, and we will let me move that top camera. Okay, we'll get it back in its housing. Obviously these markings were on it. I didn't have to put the markings on it, because you can tell when I show you the jumper wires that, it is what it is. But I am going to take these markings off now, because it has to go back to the customer. Hopefully the customer's not going to open it up anyway, because it's had an extensive repair on it. It really just wants to get left. Doesn't particularly want to be opened and messed with. So let's change over to this camera so you can see a bit better, and we will, or if you like, I can show you on this camera what we're actually what we've got here. This is what we were left with last night. Okay, There's some of the jumper wires going to the filters on the back. All the jumper wires come up the back of the port here. Some of them are going over to the front to certain components. Some from the pins at the back of the port are coming round to the back. Yeah, so that's where we're at with that. I'll put it back in its housing very carefully. We'll see if we've got video on the screen. Hopefully Amazon's done its delivery by then and we can set it up and get it on the actual dock so we can show that we have video out. I'm not holding any hope. Well, I am actually, because I'd like to be able to complete the video and so everybody knows that it's worked and we have video out. Failing that, you'll just have to take my word for it when it comes, because I can't particularly, well, I don't think I'll be doing video 3. I might just link it onto the end of this video if he does come. If he doesn't come today, then it's not going to get done till next week because I'm off next week. Well, I'm not off, but I'm not working in here next week, so I'm working away next week. It's not beautiful, is it? Don't know why it's sat like that. That's in, lines up, port lines up. Let's get a couple of screws in. If you remember right when we took this apart, oh, you weren't there when I took it apart. That top board screw was missing. That one doesn't want to go in. Oh yeah, it has. This top screw here was actually missing to begin with. We will replace our fan. I was saying yesterday on the video, on the first part of the video, I had 5 switch docks, and I was selling docks that were reconditioned, and I was meant to keep myself one, and I never I miscounted and I sold all 5, and now I don't actually have one, so I've just bought a replacement that goes onto my computer, and it should be getting delivered today. I mean, this switch can't go back to the customer until I've tested it on the dock, because this has to go back working fully. Let's put my glasses on, would help, wouldn't it? That's better. It's amazing when you put the goggles on. Obviously I'm trying my hardest to be very careful with the wires that are, the jumper wires that are there. Yesterday we had power both sides of the charging port, which normally is a good indication that you'll have video, but that will only be good if I've put all the video lines in the right place. If any of them are mixed up, I'm either not going to have video and I'll have to correct them, or I will actually damage something else on the board and I will still have to correct them and correct the damage that I've caused on the board. I'm hoping everything's the right way around. Keep looking up at the camera, hoping I see the van with my delivery, but no such luck. Something didn't feel quite right in there. Let me check that. There is something there, but I think it's just a little bit of plastic. I don't think it's a bent pin. Oh Christ. There is a bent pin in here. See, when you do jobs that, you know, for somebody else, that they've had an attempt, they've had a go at themselves, this is basically the issue you're going to have. This is going to need fucking changing as well. Let me see if I can get in and bend it back. I don't think so, because it looks pretty. There was a bit of plastic in there that I've moved. Like I say, there's a, bent pin in there as well. the screen connector. Oh, that isn't fun. It's not going to go into place, that I know it's not. Gutted. Gutted. That's that in itself's a pain in the backside to do as well. It really is. I mean, you're seeing I didn't attempt to push that in at all, but instantly I knew it didn't feel right. They should slide in ever so nice. Any friction, anything, you stop straight away, because these particular this particular connector on the board can be a massive pain in the ass if it's not right, and it's one of the easiest ones on the whole board to bend pins when you are putting the ribbon in. So I don't think there's anybody that works on these switches that doesn't know about them. In fact, the pin is actually snapped in there, look at that. I've just took it out. Where are we? What camera are we on? This one. See it on the end of my tool there. And that's the pin, literally just taken out. So it was already broken inside. So what I'm going to do, I'm still going to put it back together, because if that pin happens to be an earth, we'll be alright, because there's more than one earth in there and we'll be good to go. If it's not, then we'll have to change the screen connector. In fact, let me try and see what pin it is. There's no point in me carrying on putting this back together, plugging it in, and then wondering, is it my repair that isn't worked, or this repair that's not worked, or sorry, the damage to the screen. It's a top pin. See if we're missing one now. So I believe it to be one of the back pins. In the field of view, yeah, I believe it to be one of the back pins. I believe it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pin number 8 I think. If it is the back ones. Let me have a little test for continuity on that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please be an earth. It is an earth. If I've got the right pin. How am I going to be able to see if it's definitely the right pin? Because if I go on the first one there, is that going to tally up with the back one? I don't know if it's a back pin or a front pin, you see. I think it's a back pin. If it's a back pin, it's an earth. If it's an earth, we're laughing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think it is an earth. I think we'll be alright. I think we'll be alright. Fingers crossed that that is an earth, and we've worked out that it's an earth. Let's get it back in. I would not have I would have changed the connector. It is what it is. But I wouldn't have been happy taking everything back out and then heating the board back up on that connector. I've done a lot of work on this switch. I just want it back together, working and gone. Okay. Screws back in here. I mean, still now, even now, I think if we don't have video, before I touch this down here, I'm going to have to change that. I don't want to mess with all this. I don't want to mess with all this stuff if it's this connector. Well, I mean, the guy that sent me this has been trying to learn how to do things himself, which, you know, is good. We promote that in every way possible, but when it goes wrong and somebody needs to repair it, it's a shame. I would rather, right, it's knackered, just send me the board, don't send me the whole switch, don't put it all back together, because putting things like that back in and you damage it, it's another repair, it's a separate repair, and we don't need that. Okay, where is our heatsink? In fact, I won't put the heatsink back in, just in case it's all got to come back apart, because I don't want to put some more thermal paste on just to waste it. So let's put the battery in. I'm assuming the battery is going to be flat. Push the power button. We have a Nintendo. Is it going to come on, or is it just going to come on flat battery? Oh, it's got a good battery. Let's go touch. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's plug our charger in again. See what we get. Do we get our charging sign? just trying to get my little amp meter so we can all see together what amperage it's pulling. Okay, it doesn't stretch very well. We're looking at this number here. That's the amps that I'll be taking. I can hear the fans on this spinning away, so we'll get that heatsink back in a minute. Plugged it in that way. We have charging 1.02 amps. Let's turn it around. We have charging 1.02 amps. So we're fast charging, it's charging, we've got screen, all that palaver is on. So what we will do, lucky that bent that pin in that port for the screen was unearthed, because I would have been absolutely gutted taking all this apart. We'll put the heatsink back on, and then I want to show you it working on, you know, on the video out. That's the most important part of a switch, really, that you can play it handheld and on the television. So a bit gutted that that's not turned up. Amazon deliveries lately have been absolutely rubbish. I mean, I know we're in a pandemic, and I know everybody's ordering online because we're all at home, but internet's crap, deliveries are crap, the whole situation's crap. Let's clean the back of this. Some IPA. And this is my last job. I'm going in the house after this because my missus is starting to think she lives on her own. It's just her and the kids because I'm never in. Doing crazy hours here. Working Monday to Friday away sometimes, which I am this week, so I mean, we mustn't complain when work's busy, but it'd be nice if we just ticked along at a good pace all the time, instead of mad busy then quiet, then mad busy then quiet, you know. I'll slot this in nicely. Now, it wasn't me that torn these sponges, you know. I've said before I like to cut them with a knife so they fit back in perfect, but like I said, somebody else has already had this open and it wasn't me. Okay, now I'm not going to put the back cover on, because when I do put it on the video out on the TV. I want everybody to see that it's this repair that's been done that is working. So, but as we know, at this stage, the switch is working, it's charging, it's doing everything that it should. We just need to know if we've got video out. So, nothing I can do until the part arrives, which unfortunately is going to end up being video 3, which is a shame because I didn't want it to be that way, to be honest. I was hoping that the part would have been here much earlier this afternoon, and then I could have shown you it working on the monitor, or not working on the monitor, as the case may be, but we're still to see. But so far so good. That's a positive sign there, charging both ways. But like I say, none of that is to do with video out, so we're still to see that part. Yeah, there's nothing else I can say or do, to be honest. MK4 thermal paste, that's what I use. If anybody's interested, I find it to be one of the better thermal pastes. I use it on PlayStation, the Xbox and the Switch, so it's quite a good paste. It's expensive, but it works. You only need to use it once. My solder mask, I use Mechanic solder mask. I like to use yellow because if you are, say you're doing a jumper wire and it's in, you know, an indentation, you can put the wire in, you can fill it up with solder mask, you can cure it, and then you can scrape the solder mask off down to the wire. When you've got the yellow, you can see pretty much how thick it is compared to the board. Oh, you know, in relation to the board, how close to the board you're getting. I find sometimes with the brown, you know, or the green, yeah, this is great. I struggle to see how thick it is with the board, so I like the yellow. I'm trying to buy time hoping that the delivery guy's going to come, but I also don't think he is. There's something else that I've got to show you guys, that I've just done this. I've done this modification. I've done these two switch controllers, with the nice blue thumbsticks. When we switch them on, it'll pair up, but I don't have a switch here that they're paired to be honest. But if you push and hold SLSR, or maybe they've got to be connected first. There we go. Oh, can you see that? My buttons are lit up. Yeah. I can change the colour of them. Good modification to the switch controller. And or you can have it flashing all different colours, which is a little bit sore on the eyes, to be honest. But yeah, I like them. So if you want anything like that made, give us a shout and I can make them for you. I use a reconditioned board. You get a new battery, a new thumbstick, new shells, and the lights, which push and hold for them to go back off. Yeah. If you like them, give us a shout. I might do a little video on them actually. Well, I'm going to have to end this video and call it a day because Amazon haven't stuck to the promise. They've not brought me my item, which is a bit of a shame. But like I say, I won't put this back together yet. I'll keep it where it is. Keep these wires exposed. So when we put it all together and we put it on the screen, you can see that it was that repair that's worked. So, right, I'm going to go and enjoy my Sunday evening before I'm away early in the morning for work. Going down to Southampton. Going to Southampton. Then I'm going over to Anglesey, so in Wales, and then back Friday. So, well, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching this one and you haven't seen part 1, watch part 1. Seriously, it's a 3.5 hour long video. It took me a long time, but it's worked. Just put the switch back in. It's working. You know, it's otherwise it was going to be used for parts. And it's a good switch. It's in fantastic condition. So, you know, it's better to fix it than to bin it, to be honest. So, but yeah. Part 1's a good video to watch. It shows you how I've done the jumpers straight to the pins on the USB-C port, which I've never seen anybody do, to be honest. And then come up the back of the board. I've not seen anybody else do that. I done it because I believed it was the easiest way when I was looking at it, like so. Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, I believed it was the easiest way. Part 1, part 2, and unfortunately I'm now going to have part 3, putting it and showing you with the video out. So, right, cool. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It's a brand new channel. I'm trying to start a brand new channel basically. It's a lot harder than you think. You know, you don't start, your videos don't start showing on you know, in the search when you're searching a video on YouTube. Your videos don't come up. They're right down 3, 4, 5 pages away until you start getting more followers and more people watching. Then eventually your videos come up, even when it's not really what you've searched for. You'll still get your video up. I can put in the exact wording of a title of a video I've put on, and I'm still 2 or 3 pages away, and you're getting all different ones that aren't even really related, but they've got a lot of followers and they've got a big channel, and YouTube sticks their stuff up first. Crazy, really. You should get to see what it is that you've searched for. But so I'm trying to get that going, so if you could subscribe to my channel as well, that'd be great. If you want to know when I've stuck a video on, hit the little bell and you'll get a notification. But yeah, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. See you next time.